Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we gotta look at the reward ship for the current Halloween event. Genova, Italian cruiser. We got Mimbelli trying Lemon on there. Put some points into him experimenting with that build finally. And we got Macau. So we got concealment and Lemon. If you don't know, when you fire your guns, normally you have 20 seconds of expanded visibility. He cuts that down by a fairly large percentage. I think maxed it cuts a full 5 seconds off of that, which is actually quite powerful if understood properly. Here we got a game on Ring, and note that we got one battleship over here. The spotting elements, the destroyers, and the carrier all located north, so I'm not moving into this side with high hopes of getting a lot done here. I'm going to play my normal position on Ring. Usually I like to play behind these big islands. You got a lot of crossfire opportunities on this map. We've been talking about this map a couple times lately, and we'll see some more of that in action here. So we're going to move forward trying to spot. We got 3 destroyers on their team. We only got 2 on our team, which is another spotting disadvantage right out of the gate. So we got to be playing a little bit carefully here. You can play the islands further out towards the eastern side of the map if you want, but I prefer to stick towards these middle islands. You can still get good cover for your ship, but you also will have a lot of sneaky shots. And Ring is a low-tier map, of course, so a lot of the players here employing newer player tactics. And we're going to see that here in the Nevada right off the bat. We're moving in on the 8-kilometer torpedo range of this thing, and we're just going to launch them right on the indicator. That's not normally a shot that would hit. You can see the time to target on those torps was just shy of a minute, but due to the fact that a lot of the newer battleship players, they just stay zoomed in the entire time and don't really alter their speed or heading whatsoever. So here we're noticing Red's heavily attacking A. I'm still in my mind trying to support D, but there's not a lot we can do now. Keep an eye on this Kamikaze over here. He's spawned in the middle, and he's actually going to play D. I'm glad I didn't support him because he ends up having a Kraken in this game. Spoiler alert. So by leaving these targets for him, he actually cleans up over here. But having a good destroyer player over here supporting the side, maybe we could potentially stay over there. But once again, A is kind of the overload side for Red, and we're going to try and get some things done over here. So we're going to take a shot on this Wickus. You can see his engine gets knocked right before we shoot. I noticed it as I pulled the trigger. So that shot's going to be in front of him. And note the torp strike on the Nevada back there. And again, easy shot. The guy didn't move, you know, so just aim on the indicator. But now we're moving in here. We are getting spotted, of course, probably by the Wickus and whatever else. But we have a lot of broadside cruisers over here. Now, what's up with this Genova? 203s on a tier 4. That's the only one you can see with the same armament in terms of caliber is the Furuataka. The AP on this thing much more dangerous, though. In fact, it's pretty good at any range. Maneuverability, it's... At first, when I was playing the ship, I thought it was kind of clunky, but once you get it up to speed, it actually is rather maneuverable. Mid 600 turn radius speeds, I think it's 37.5 on this current build here. And you can get moving around. It's just when you're kind of stopped dead in the water, it takes a little while to accelerate. Of course, as a tier 4 ship, we only have the one mod, which I typically would use with the aiming systems mod. See there, we got a huge hearty whack on the Omaha, which of course was just sitting broadside, so that's an easy shot. We got broadside cruisers here. Usually, you know, since my guns are sticking out the right, it's advantageous for me to attack from the right-hand side of the screen to the left-hand side of the screen. That way I can keep my rear of the ship mostly angled towards these ships coming in the back and try and protect ourselves that way. Clemson, we're trying to encourage him to get back. He's taking a lot of damage, unfortunately, but what can we do here? We're going to see these 203s. I mean, the Gus here, he's an angled target. We're waiting. I'm hoping he's going to turn a full 45 degrees, but he pulls off that turn right as we fire there. And even though that's the case, we get 4 full pens and 1 over pen with a few ricochets as well. So it depends exactly where you're hitting on the ship. But, you know, you got the gun caliber to knock some of these ships around. You saw an early shot on the Nevada into a superstructure for a 5K. I mean, you can get some nice, juicy shots out of these AP shells. So I'd recommend hanging on to these as much as possible. If you got angled battleships, then of course try and switch over to the HE. Long reload on this thing, okay? We got about a 20, I don't know what it is, 17 and a half seconds, give or take. Would be my exact, yeah, it looks like 18 on the knob. So pretty long reload. That kind of reduces the effectiveness of this against destroyers. Effectively, factor 3 direct hits most likely needed to kill a full health destroyer, and that's just shy of a full minute of basically engaging the thing. And a lot of destroyers can pump out a lot of damage, and of course, if they have any support ships, you can be in trouble there. Here we elect to just fire the rear salvo, just trying to protect ourselves. The guns were initially played off the right hand, or the left hand side of the ship, right hand side of the screen, of course, but due to the fact that we got the battleship closing in, who we also launched torps at directly on the indicator, and the Montecuccoli behind them, we figured might as well make sure and angle protect ourselves, and we got the kill anyways on them. So Oklahoma's having a little bit of a hard time here, on fire, and torpedo strikes coming in hot. Well, coming in hot's a little bit disingenuous. These aren't exactly screamer torps. In fact, these are the exact opposite. Long range, but very, very ponderous. So these work firing at the indicator, long range, again at low tiers, but if you're going against competent players, these are more zoning torps in my opinion. Do take a hearty whack there in the side. I was hoping he was going to die, and I wanted to re-engage the enemy. You can see they're not doing so hot in terms of ship count, and I want to try and up our damage as much as possible. Almost paid for it dearly there. Oklahoma weathering some shots there and eventually goes down. So now we got 3 ships at this point in time. The Kamikazes already got the double strike to clear out D. They captured their home cap. Now they're moving over here, and they're going to tear these guys up. So there's the Montecuccoli. You can see on the map he's actually angled almost all the way away from us, pointed basically directly away from us. But on the side, or on the screen, it always looks more horizontal than it is. So I'd always recommend checking the map before you fire guns, or in conjunction with what you're seeing on the screen, because what you see on the screen, I mean, the ships are longer than they might look at long distances, and that can be deceiving. It makes them look more broadside. So continuing to try and hit with some AP shots, hunting for the Citadel, just getting some overpens there with one regular pen. And the Kamikaze rushed him. I'm like, all right, get back. But at this point in time, it looks like he knows what he's doing, and he's on Campaign of Terror there. So he actually nukes the Montecuccoli point blank range. With dangerous play, but it pays off for him. More power to him. Everyone dead except for one destroyer. We're spotted. Now, at this point in time, we really don't know where he is. He hasn't been spotted for a long time as far as I can tell. He was last seen basically where the Kamikaze is now, pointing north though. And so we keep noticing we're getting spotted. I'm just trying to get on the cap here, not for winning the game purposes, but for getting some XP, some credits, and other currency bonuses. You get nice scores by capturing bases. Haven't captured any base yet this game, so we're trying to work in conjunction with the Kamikaze. I'm pretty sure just watching him play here and how he's torping, especially this final destroyer at the end here, I think he's running the twist and track build with the radio locator, pointing in the way towards the enemy. So he's got 4 kills. I didn't check the scoreboard recently. I didn't know he was hunting the Kraken, so I was a little disappointed in him screaming through the cap here. Figured, let's wait the 10 seconds, get the cap, and then if we can get this guy killed, great. But then, the Farragut, I believe it is, or whatever that guy is over there, he pops the smoke, gets one shot off, and now he's like, oh, well, I can't see anyone. This play isn't going to work. And there's not a lot he can really do, I understand that, but destroyers, you got to understand, if you're going to try and utilize the smoke offensively, i.e. you want to sit in it and shoot your guns, well, of course you need someone spotting, or at least a plane. If we fired here, we might be visible for his smoke fire, or, we'd suffer penalty and increase visibility even through that smoke. You could potentially see us. I'm considering doing that just to get spotted and have him shoot at me just so we can get a read on him. But again, with the 20-second reload, not really that worth it. So I'm hoping the planes and the Kamikaze can spot him. Maybe we'll get one more decent shot to wind the game up. So my thoughts on the Genova here. I think it's a pretty good ship. I wouldn't personally bust my balls, and I just don't have a lot of time to play the Halloween event this time. I got some friends coming in later in the week, so I'm trying to get as much done early in the week as possible. I'm not planning on grinding it out, but especially if you don't have a tier 4 ship, go for it. It's a pretty decent cruiser, and you can have a lot of fun. Good ripping guns for sure. So that's a look at the Genova for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships. It's coming all the time for you. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.